Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd do a quick mid-year update on how my goals for 2023 have been coming along. I had set out at the beginning of the year, I had two kind of primary goals. One was that 2023 was going to be a low buy year, and the other was that I was going to start replacing some of my bad habits like shopping and scrolling constantly with better habits. And so I will give you an update on how I'm doing so far. So in terms of the low buy year, I am doing pretty well overall in terms of my spending. I am at about roughly 1/10 of what I spent at this time last year, so that is pretty amazing. I have not really purchased any, or much, I should say, clothing. I haven't purchased any handbags. Where I have kind of fallen a little bit or slipped a little bit has been really with fragrances and beauty, but primarily fragrances. And a big portion of that has come from the fact that I've been selling quite a few of my fragrances online, and with the proceeds from that, I've been continuing to buy other fragrances. So I did start the year at about 170 something fragrances, and I'm down to about 140 something fragrances. So I'm making some progress. I set a goal to eventually get my collection down to 100 bottles of perfume. I think that is way more than enough, but I am finding it hard as I'm going along because there are so many fragrances I love, and fragrance for me has really become like a hobby over the years, something I really love and enjoy the way some people love and enjoy, I don't know, wine tasting or other, I always think of wine tasting just because like the notes of fragrance and starting to kind of learn about them and appreciate them is similar to my own experience drinking wine, and starting to love and appreciate other things as I've learned more and more. So in any case, I am making good progress, but I definitely think the one area that I could improve on for the back half of the year is fragrances. So I'm going to try to slow my roll a little bit and only bring in any fragrances that are on my wish list or that I absolutely love and can't live without. And I did want to also just mention, I know some folks have asked me about, you know, purchasing things when I've had a no buy year. I actually set out to do a low buy year, which is a little bit different. I am allowing myself to purchase things that I either absolutely love and can't live without, or really I could live without any of it, let's face it, but things that I absolutely love and know that I love. So not making any kind of impulse purchases or making blind buy purchases and things like that, or things that I absolutely need, like I'm running out of them, or, you know, I've got something that maybe I've ruined, like, I don't know, a blouse, and I really want to have a replacement, something like that. Those are kind of the areas where I'm allowing myself to spend a little. And I've also allowed myself to purchase some books. And that gets me into my second part of this, which is replacing bad habits with good habits. I have implemented quite a few really good habits this year, and I'm really proud about that. I have been in the mornings getting up and trying to either take a walk, go to the gym, do something productive. I'm writing in my journal, and it kind of kickstarts my day before I start scrolling on my phone. I've also kind of cut out quite a bit of what I was consuming on social media, because I was consuming a lot of content that was sort of adding to my shopping addiction. And there are certain you know, especially on YouTube, there are certain YouTubers whose content really got me fired up all the time to go out and buy things. So I'm trying not to watch any of that right now. I've unfollowed a lot of people both on YouTube and on Instagram, and I'm really trying to pay more attention to using what I have, appreciating what I have, and not running out and buying new things. And a lot of the content I've replaced that with have been more YouTubers and channels that are focused on minimalism, on decluttering, on using what you have and appreciating it, on slow fashion, all of that. So I am going to soon be doing a video about some of my favorite content creators, because I always like to at least once a year kind of share with others. So you can follow them if you're interested as well. So that is one of the habits I have sort of started and implemented. I've also in the evenings been starting to read more. I've actually read read a lot this year since I've had quite a bit of time not working. I also should mention that I recently just accepted a new position that I will be starting later this month. So super excited about that. Excited to have income coming in, as my husband reminds me at least weekly that we are in our prime earnings years. And, you know, we're hoping to retire early. And yeah, there's a whole life plan that we have. I'm married to a CPA. He's got all kinds of spreadsheets that track all of our income and where it's going. And I have been consistently horrible for the last few years in, you know, not in sort of chipping away at that plan with my purchasing. So I am really cutting back. And I will say that for anyone who is interested in doing like a low buy year, I have really found that just stopping the insanity for like a month or two really helped me to see the problem. It's like anything. If you start implementing new habits within, they say a few weeks, but for me, it always takes longer. I don't know why, but it takes me a little while to see where the issue is. But I could clearly see when packages, you know, weren't arriving at my house every day. I am no longer having that kind of high and low that you get from the kind of dopamine hit that comes from shopping or even searching. It's like the hunt is also part of it. You know, it definitely is almost, it's an addiction. It is a type of high that you get from it. And then there's for me anyway, an extreme low that follows when I have buyer's remorse or when I regret some of my purchases and I just kind of feel like I've spent too much money and I have too much of everything and I can't sort of focus on anything. Yeah, it's really something that I highly recommend for anyone who is wanting to do a no-buy year, but it seems a little too extreme. I would definitely try a low-buy year where you kind of set yourself a limit of what you can spend each month and try to stick within that. I've only kind of broke my rule one time when Sephora had their spring sale and my blow dryer quit out and I ended up purchasing a bunch of things that I probably didn't need, but I do love my blow dryer. And yeah, so in any case, I've been really good about my shopping. I've been really better about replacing bad habits with good ones. I've been reading quite a bit, like I said, and a lot of self-help. And I actually started therapy again. I found a therapist and have gotten on a new drug for my anxiety, which has really been helping as well. I've suffered from anxiety for years. I have a lot of reasons sort of behind it, but definitely have some anxiety. And I wanted to quickly give an update that I have also been suffering from burning mouth syndrome for years now. And I've talked about it before on my channel, but I didn't get too many people who had actually even heard of it. But to anyone who has heard of it or knows someone with it, I actually am on a drug called Cymbalta, which is for people who have anxiety, depression, but also some type of neurological disorder, which it is believed in the research that has been done about burning mouth syndrome that it is a neurological disorder. So similar to people who have fibromyalgia and they get pain in all over their body really. But in my case, the pain is localized fortunately to my mouth. It's not a good thing though. It's a horrible thing. It feels like you've constantly burned your mouth on like pizza or, you know, that feeling you get when you just burn your mouth, the inside of your mouth, coffee, whatever. It feels like that all the time. And the drug that I am taking, I would say, has started to reduce that pain. It's not completely gone, but it is reduced, and I will take that because I will take anything. I know there are other drugs, a little bit more heavy-duty drugs for people who have like seizures and epilepsy and all that, and I'm not really wanting to take those. Those are serious neurological drugs that you know, there's a lot of things you can't do when you're taking them and they don't make you feel really great. So I have decided that I'm not going to take any of those. But in any case, I wanted to talk about it because I feel like this is something that a lot of people don't talk about. You know, if you're taking anything for anxiety, depression, any type of mood disorder, I guess, I feel like it is something that is very common, and I, for years and years, wouldn't take anything. And finally, when around the time I turned 40 is when I started on Lexapro, and I had been taking that for over 10 years, and I think it just kind of lost its effectiveness. And so I decided, after seeing this new therapist and actually going to a psychiatrist first, they prescribed me this new drug that was hopeful to help with my burning mouth syndrome as well, and it is helping. So long-winded story about that, but just wanted to throw that out there as well, since it is something that I'm doing for my health and my sanity, and I'm sort of trying to resolve some of the issues, or at least work on some of the issues that have led to my kind of addiction with shopping and overconsumption of everything. So in any case, that is where I'm at right now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I'm always happy to answer anything you all are wanting to ask, and I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.